Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is CJ and I post makeup videos here on YouTube, which is what you are so kindly watching right now. So today's going to be an updated every single day makeup routine video. I just looked on my channel like literally 2 seconds ago, and the last one I filmed was 2 years ago. It was in 2019, and it was a very different circumstance for me. I was working at a job that started at 9. It was 10 minutes away. And I had time to make myself feel like super cute and glam and all that stuff. And now I've been a little bit humbled, and I work a job that starts at 8, takes about 45 minutes to get to. And so I've had to accommodate my makeup routine to kind of match that. Also, back when I filmed this video, COVID was not a thing. Now it is it's a 2-year-long thing at this point. So things have changed, masks are worn, so things are a lot different now. And I just wanted to kind of come at you and tell you how I've changed my everyday routine to kind of accommodate that, how I make myself feel cute in a very short period of time. I just feel like it's a video that could be useful for people who also have a very short span of time to get ready in the morning. So that's why I am here. It is literally a 10-minute makeup routine. If, and this is a big if, I don't know where you live, okay? Where I live, my commute would be a lot shorter if there was not a shit ton of traffic, right? That said, I sit in a lot of traffic in the morning, a lot of stop and go traffic. And so because of that, I do my mascara in the car. I don't do it when I'm driving. I only do it when I am stopped, when it is safe. Okay, but I do my mascara in the car, and that takes about 5 minutes. So if you want to tack that on, then it's a 15-minute makeup routine, which is fine. That's still pretty short. It's a lot shorter than my other video. All right, so there's that. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get started. Anything that I use will be linked in the description box down below if you are at all curious. I think it's actually all drugstore, except for the blush, but the blush you can kind of swap out regardless. So anyway, all right, so first thing that I do in the morning, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of skincare, okay? The first thing I do is I go in with a toner. I do not wash my face in the mornings because who wants to go through that effort of leaning over the sink and doing all that whole stuff? No, I go in with a very hydrating, nourishing toner that doesn't strip my skin. It doesn't have witch hazel or anything. It's this one by Glow Oasis. It's their Milk Dew pH Balancing Moisture Milk Toner. So it's very hydrating. It feels so good on my skin. It doesn't strip my skin. I honestly feel like it kind of moisturizes it. And I put this on a cotton round, and when you put it, like, do the whole shebang, you can see if there was like any gunk that came in overnight or that you just didn't take off the night before. So I absolutely love this. It's so quick, it's so easy, and I feel like it's a very hydrating, cleansing step that makes me not have to go that extra route of actually washing my face and bending it. And it's just like the whole thing. So love this. So I do that first. And then I go into my moisturizer slash sunscreen. So I am between sunscreens right now. I really want to try the Blockstar one. I think it's called. It's from the drugstore. For some reason, I just haven't bitten the bullet and bought it yet. But I was using the Neutrogena sunscreen slash moisturizer. It's been like a week, okay? So please don't hate me. And so I've been using the Saturday Skin Pretty Pop Probiotic Power Whipped Cream Moisturizer. I've been using this every morning, and I did not think I liked this as much as I really, really do. I love this. I use it all the time. It's very lightweight, whipped consistency. It's so good. It's not heavy. About 20 minutes ago, I went and did my toner and this thing, and it's already completely gone. My skin is no longer tacky. I mean, it's gone. It's gone. And it really like goes within like 5 minutes or so. Like it's quick, it's efficient, but it's good, and you can feel the moisture, and it's not heavy. It's very lightweight. So I absolutely love this. I wish it had SPF in it because that would be perfect. So skin wise, I use this, okay? It's absolutely disgusting looking. I filmed an entire dedicated review of this product. You can go view it. Y'all, can we just talk about it? Okay, because of this one damn foundation review, I've gotten like 10 subscribers. And okay, so they have like this little back end thing where you can see like views per hour. I've never had a video get views per hour because honestly, I'm just lucky if I get a view per month on a video, okay? But this one I posted, I think it was a month ago, and it literally started tracking views per hour. And I saw that the other day and I flipped my shit. Oh my God. So thank you. If you watched that video, thank you so much. But anyway, this is like my favorite thing of life right now. It is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Serum. It's a foundation. It's not a foundation. It's a tinted serum. Okay. It's really, really, really good for your skin. If you have skin with a little bit more issues, like if you have discoloration, which I have some discoloration, not a lot, but if you have like acne or anything like that, you might not like this. It's very light coverage, but I love it. It's so good. I am very lucky to have pretty decent skin. This notwithstanding. But anyway, so I go in with this and I kind of just like, first of all, the packaging, can we just talk about how freaking disgusting this is? That needs to change. That I will say. You need to shake it up just a teensy tiny bit because it does kind of get kind of gross. But I just put like a little, well, that didn't work. Okay. That didn't do anything. Okay. So nothing's coming out, but I'll just kind of put a little bit, not a lot, on the back of my fingers. My fingers are clean. I just washed my hands. And I'll just kind of like very lightly go in over my skin. And this just gives you like the perfect little wash of color, and not even really color, but it just evens everything out, honestly. It's so good. And I know, like, I have normal leaning oily skin. If you have oilier, more combo skin, hearing like hyaluronic acid tinted serum, like very hydrating, that might be a bit of a turn off. But this does, like, it bridges the gap so well. Like, it really does everything that you would want. Even as like an oily skin person, it matches. Like, it's so good. And so you can see, like, I don't even have to blend anything out, really. It's all blended in that quickly. Like, I didn't speed through this part, nothing. So there you go. So the next thing I go in with is my concealer. Now, I will say, if I'm having a morning where I'm not feeling great or it's just that kind of morning, I don't do the foundation routine. I just go in with concealer. I'm wearing a mask anyway. But for me, even if half my face is covered up with my mask, I am just the kind of person, I feel just more alive, I guess, when I have a little bit of makeup on, even if people can't see it. I don't know what it is. It's something weird. So I'm just putting that out there. So if there's days where I'm just not feeling myself, or I'm just not feeling great, I will skip everything and I'll just put concealer, brows, and a little bit of whatever up here. I won't put anything down here. But this is me on a good day, okay? Which I'm hoping all of you have kind of regularly and would want to follow this routine. Anyway, so I'm going to go in with my concealer. This is one, it's by Believe Beauty, which is Dollar General's like in-home brand. It's less than $5. Everything that they sell is less than $5. I love this. I'm using it a lot. I haven't posted like a review or anything, and I will. I have like a kind of like product roundup video coming of stuff I've just kind of been trying off camera. I'll say for this one, don't put it everywhere and then blend it out. It dries kind of quickly, but it's really good coverage. It's not anything crazy, but it doesn't look creepy or heavy or anything like that. Okay. I need to put it on so I can stop talking. But I just put some right here, right there. I don't put anything under there because that's just a little much for me. I do the same thing on this side. I kind of stick it back in. I don't screw it back in because I'm going to do my nose. But then I did wet my beauty sponge. Okay. You can do this in 10 seconds. Do it right when you brush your teeth. But I like doing a damp beauty sponge. For some stuff, I like a dry one, but for this routine, I really like a damp one. And so I just kind of tap it. And I really focus it in here because I get pretty bad dark circles. And then once it's mostly blended out underneath, I'll go in and kind of just tap on my eyelids and it'll kind of cancel any craziness. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. And if you can't see how beautifully that kind of conceals, again, it's not anything crazy. It's no crazy coverage or anything like that. It's very natural. And so I love this concealer because it's very undetectable. Like, okay, I'll give you a quick story. I know I babble a lot, but anyway, so we had a Zoom call for work on Friday. It was completely from home, but we had to have our cameras on at all times. And they basically sent out an email saying, hey, don't come on with like your pajamas or anything crazy, like look somewhat presentable. And so I played my City Skylines game up until the very last minute of the thing. And then I popped some of this concealer on just under here, and on my nose, blended out really quick with a brush. Y'all, I didn't have to powder it, nothing. And it did not crease. It did not do anything crazy. This stuff is so so good and it's so underrated. And I didn't say the shade. I use the shade Pearl. So I'm just going to put some on my nose right now. Again, I don't do this every single day, put stuff on my nose. If I'm just not in the mood or, you know, I'm just kind of in a rush, what's the point, honestly? Because I work in a healthcare setting, so I have to have a mask on at all times. But again, I just like having the makeup on. I don't know. It makes me feel better about myself. I just do that. And then if I have any spots, like I have this thing that's been here for forever, I'll kind of touch that. And then right there. And then because I am just on camera, so why not? I'll do my chin because my chin always is very red. Now that that's done, I'm going to go in with powder. Tried and true Maybelline Fit Me loose setting powder. I use the shade 05 Fair. I just kind of shake it and then top it off in the cap. With this concealer, you don't really need to, but I guess I'm just kind of in the habit of it. I just kind of go over my eyelids really quickly with my sponge just to make sure there's no creasing. But again, as I said, with this one, there really never is. And then I just take my sponge and I just dip in, not a lot, just a little, kind of tap it off. And then I go underneath majorly, like especially in the corner, and then I kind of tap the excess onto my eyelid. And I have an eye booger that I just saw, so please ignore that for a second. And then I do the same thing. I kind of just go over the spots that really, really crease badly on me. So that is my eyes and then around my nose. I do that with my sponge just because it really gets in there and really truly sets it. And then I'll go in with like a big fluffy brush and just take the little bit that's left and I'll just kind of swirl it onto the rest of my face. All right, so after the powder, I go into a bronzer. It's either one of these. It's either the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer or the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronzer. Honestly, I kind of base it on how like kind of puffy I'm feeling in the morning. The Physicians Formula one is a little bit darker and has a little bit more of a contour shade. So if I'm feeling especially puffy in the morning, I'll go in with this one because it does kind of chisel my face a little bit better. This one's a lot more luminous and just like golden, bronzy, Victoria's Secret, whatever. But today, because I'm feeling pretty puffy, I'm going to go in with this one. I just take a fluffy brush. It's this one by Modapro. Royal, I think it's R&L. Isn't that like Royal and like Nickel? I don't know. But it's a Modapro brush. It's the BMX 130. It's beaten to hell, if you can't tell. I just kind of swirl it in there, tap it off, and then just go into mainly my cheeks, which is so stupid because, again, I'm wearing a mask like all day. And people can't tell. But you know what? I can. And it makes me feel better about myself. So I mainly focus it on my cheekbones right here. And then I kind of start to swirl it up on my forehead. Tap in again. Go in there. And then kind of sweep it along my jawline, especially focusing it like right here. I have a very round face and a very significant lack of a jawline and honestly any bone structure. So any shadow that I can make along bone structure, so like right here for my double chin and stuff like that, I like to kind of go in, you know. And as I said, I focus it right here. And then at the very end, when there's like barely any, like when there's really nothing left on my brush, I do kind of go like just like this, just to kind of mesh everything. You know, I don't want anything like too like crazy stark lines or anything like that. I really want everything meshed and to look kind of natural. And so that's why I'll kind of like blend it all along in here, just so something gets a touch of something. I don't know if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but that's what I do. So. And then what I do, I have this one brush that I really like. Unfortunately, it's by Morphe, and it's not my favorite for when I'm really trying to nose contour because it's not the most accurate, but it's the quickest one and most kind of like efficient. So I go in with this little brush. Again, it's by Morphe. It doesn't have anything else on it, but it's kind of just like this little flat topped little doohickey. And then I'll go in with the bronzer that I'm using. If I'm using this one, I do not use this one for my nose contour because it's not a very contoury shade. But if it's the butter bronzer, I will because it does have a little bit more coolness and depth to it. So I'll just kind of go into it on the top, tap off the excess. And then I just like put the most bare basic contour on my nose. I know this is ridiculous because I wear a mask, but y'all, I hate my nose. I hate it so much. And so I contour my nose every single day. And it's the same thing I said in my video 2 years ago. I contour my nose every single day. I don't care how much time I have. I contour my nose every single day. So I feel like if you have that one thing that you really, really want to accomplish, like, okay, if you feel like your lips are small and you want to overline them, then put your effort into doing that. Put your time into doing that. So for me, my effort goes into my nose contour, even if I'm wearing an effing mask and no one can tell, because that's just how I feel confident and beautiful, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I just go in, I do that really, really quickly. I just kind of brush it along the sides of my nose and then kind of focus it right here. I don't know if it does anything, but it makes me feel better about myself. So, all right. And then I go into a blush if I have time. Okay. This is all, again, if you have time. Oh, I did not preface this. I did in my last video and I need to. I do not have children. Okay. I know if you are a mother or a father, or if you have kids running around, I know that your time is a lot more important spent elsewhere. So if you don't have time to do this, I completely understand. I do, because I do not have children. I have 3 dogs, and they do take up a lot of my time, and I do feel like a parent sometimes, but that's not me trying to take away from what all you guys do. So if you need to change this, shorten it because you have kids, please, oh my God, do so. Okay, your kids need you. Go forth. Okay, so I go into a blush. Y'all, it's the Alamar Cosmetics little trio. I'm obsessed with this, and they don't have this exact one anymore. They changed it. I don't know if they changed the formula. The colors look incredibly similar, but they don't have this exact one, and I'm so upset because I love this one so much. It was in my yearly favorites, which you should go check that video out if you so please. But anyway, so I go into this. Usually I always go into Paraiso. I cannot skip Paraiso. It is absolutely beautiful. It's the most beautiful shade of blush in my entire life. I'll either mix it with this one or this one, just depending on where my hand goes. I don't know. But I always take this brush. It's by Persona. It's a dual-sided brush. I love this one because I can go in with blush on the side and then highlighter on this one. So I'll just go into a mix of Paraiso and Castaway. And these blushes are pretty pigmented, which is good because it saves time. So I just kind of swirl it. I don't go in right here because my cheeks are large and in charge regardless. So I don't really need to emphasize that. So I kind of just like brush it this way to kind of give like a little facelift effect. I know that's like what all the cool kids on TikTok say. They're like, it's a facelift. It's like, no. Just how you apply your stuff, but whatever. So I kind of just like swirl it around in this region. I'm not very precise with it because I feel like the more precise you are, the more margin you have for error. The more you blend it, the kind of just more natural and effortless it looks. So now that that's done, I know it's looking a little intense, especially my nose contour. I think I got a little too sidetracked talking to you guys. But if your nose contour ever looks like a little too crazy, just take your like slightly damp sponge and just kind of tap over it and it blends itself out. It's fine. And then I go into my Essence Pure Nude highlighter. It's the best every single day highlighter. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing too blingy or to look at me. It's just like a very lit from within glow. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like $4 or $5. And then I'll just take the other side of this brush, kind of going like that, tap it off, and I always do the tops of my cheekbones, and then I kind of just like run it through my eyebrows like this, like in circular, very quick circular motions. And I do that because you want to have your brows kind of highlighted because it lifts them and makes your face just look a little bit more angled and stuff. And so because I don't do my eyebrows first, you can kind of just like throw the you can throw the pigment like around in there, and it's really not that big of a deal, and it gives like a very diffused, natural-esque kind of look to that highlight. It's not like you're pinpointing Becca's champagne pop like right there and up there. It's like, no, it's much more natural, flushed kind of look, and so that's kind of why I do it like that. And then I do the bridge of my nose, even though I'm wearing a mask and no one can tell. I do the bridge of my nose. I don't care what you say. I touch it right there. I kind of skip a little bit right there where I put that contour, and then I go at the tippy top and kind of just do the little bridge, and I think it looks cute. I like it a lot. And then I'll take a little shadow brush, and while I still have the highlighter out, I'll tap it, and then I'll go into my inner corner and just kind of do that really quick. And I do this because I have very small eyeballs, and my eyes looking awake is like the one thing that makes me feel beautiful. So I do go in and do an inner corner highlight because it makes my eyes look a little bit more open. Okay, so then the next thing I do is I go into like a little bit of an eyeshadow. I don't like to use bronzer. Well, I do. Okay, let me preface. Bronzer on the eyelid is great. It's so good. I love it so much. But typically they're a lot less pigmented than an eyeshadow. And so it takes a little bit longer to kind of build it up. So if you want color, I would say just kind of like have a quick grab eyeshadow palette, like a small one. I have something like this, and just you have your one color. You just pick it up. It's done. You don't have to build it up and keep blending. And so I take a little fluffy brush. This one's by Sigma. It's their E40 tapered blending brush. And then I go into, this is a palette I absolutely love. I got it from BoxyCharm. It's by Trey Luce. It's their I Am Alma palette. And because, you know, I'm going to an office job where you get in trouble for wearing crazy stuff, I just go into this color right here, this brown one. It is in Bella, and then I tap it on there, and then I just blend it into my crease really fast. I focus the majority of the color on like the upper outer part of my eye. I don't like to bring stuff in too crazy close to the inner corner of my eye because it really closes my eyes off and makes me look crazy. So I just kind of focus it like up here, and then, you know, once that initial pigment is kind of off the brush, then I blend inward. Okay. And now that that's done, I'll go into, I'll take another brush. It's a much smaller one. I like these, like the small flat ones, because it's just so good for underneath the lash line. I'll go into the exact same shade, and then I'll just like run it underneath my lash line. And I really like to make sure that it kind of blends together with the upper one, like it kind of matches and the lines match well. But I don't know, I'm someone who like always has to have shadow on their lower lash line. So that's that, and that's it. I don't put anything on the lid, nothing. I just leave it like that. The pigment from the concealer and then that powder honestly just cancels out that discoloration on my eyelid, and I just want the shadow. I just want the shape of having an eye socket, which I don't. And so that's why I do the shadow, I do underneath, and then I'm done. And that's it. Okay, so the last thing that I do here, like sitting at my desk in my house, is my eyebrows. And I do this incredibly quickly, and that's because I have like these products that I'm absolutely obsessed with. But I go into this little spoolie. So I brush them upward and kind of outward, like, you know, how brow shapes, you know, most likely want them. And then I go into this. It is the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. I have mine in ash brown. It's perfect. I love this product so much. And I always start at the outer portion of my brows because it's just like a lot easier to not screw it up when you do it that way. But I always kind of start in the arch because that's where my bald spots are. And that kind of just gives you like those really good guidelines for the rest of your brow. With a brow pen instead of a brow pencil, this just gives you like that really natural brow hair look. So I just kind of go through. And then once I have the tail mostly done, then I'll come into like the very front of my brows and kind of just fill them in where I need to. And it's that easy. It's that easy. And then I'll go ahead and do the other thing, or I'll do the same thing on my other brow. Okay, and I know this one looks a little crazy because this brow sucks and it hates me. But one of the things I love about this product so much, this NYX pencil, is that you can take your spoolie once it's kind of dried, which it takes like 2.5 seconds. And you can just kind of like brush through your brows or like take your finger and kind of like rub it. And the harsh lines, like if you want them to go away, they will. So that's what I typically go through and do. All right, now that the brows are done, I go in with my NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel. It's clear. It's basically like thick hairspray for your brows, but it's not thick when you put it on your face. It's just like thicker than a hairspray because it's not a spray. It's like a gel kind of. But I absolutely love this. It does not make your brows look shiny or crunchy or anything like that. It just holds them perfectly into place all day. And I just brush that through my brows. All right, I will say I just went off camera and put on chapstick because I'm very dehydrated today apparently, and my lips started bleeding because it was crusty and all this stuff. So I do have chapstick, or it's not chapstick, it's the Jouer Essential Lip Enhancer, which is incredible. Again, I mentioned it in my yearly favorites, but I do have that one, and my lip is actually bleeding like right now. So if you see that, just ignore it. Thank you. All right, so the last thing I typically do in my car, as I said, please only do this if you are stopped. Do not do this if you are actively driving, if you know you are about to have to drive. But if you are sat in standstill traffic, that's when I do this, because I know here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I live, there is traffic. Okay, that's why it takes me so long to get to work. even though I only live like 11 miles away. So anyway, the first thing I do is I curl my lashes. This is one by Beauty 360. It's like CVS's brand. I don't love this. I want a new one, but I mean, this isn't broken, so I'm not gonna replace it. Another thing I've been doing, now that it's been like cold out, I have been putting this, like, cause I've had the heat on in my car, like letting this sit against the heat for a second and then curling your lashes. Golden, because it's like, you know, hair, it holds the curl better. But anyway, I don't have that right now because I'm not in my car. So I'm just gonna curl my lashes. So now that my lashes are curled and everything, then I'll go in with just my mascara. So I will say I have been using a lash primer recently. It's the one by Milk Makeup. It is their Kush Lash Primer. And I will go more in depth on this in my product roundup video. But this one I do love. I can see an immediate increase in the fullness of my lashes when I use this. But the reason I don't think I will ever repurchase this is because it, one, does not increase the longevity of like the curl of my lashes, which that's like the main thing that I want. And I've started noticing recently it's kind of like been making my mascara flake. I'm not going to put this on today, but I don't want to like not mention it because I have been using it. Well, should I use it? No, I won't use it because this mascara, honestly, this mascara doesn't need it. This is the Essence Lash Princess mascara. It's like $3 or $4. It is the mint green one. Make sure you get this one. It's the False Lash Effect mascara. It's incredible. It's so good. I don't know if this is like a new thing, but like I just repurchased this for the first time in a while because I had been getting a lot of like new mascaras from BoxyCharm. But now the wand is bent and I love it. You wouldn't think it would make it easier, but it does. I don't know how, but it does. So I just go into my mascara. I need a smaller mirror. I'm going to speed through this because it's going to take forever and I really want to listen to the Encanto soundtrack because I've been obsessed the past 2 days. Also, if you are an older sibling, I know this is super off topic, but I'm just so curious. The song Surface Pressure, the one by the Big Buff Sister, do you feel like that is therapy for you? Because I do. And I'm obsessed with it. And I listened to literally that and we don't talk about Bruno like 15 times yesterday, but probably more actually. But anyway, so I'm going to speed through my mascara application and go to therapy, which is Surface Pressure from Encanto by Jessica Dara. So I'll be back. Whoa. Alrighty, so the last thing that I typically do is I keep a Q-tip in my car, okay? This might seem a little gross, and I get rid of it every week or so, okay? I have a Q-tip in my car because I am the type of person, I cannot do my mascara and not get it everywhere. So I need to have something in my car to rectify the situation, and that is a Q-tip. So I let it dry, which it's been like, I think 15 minutes since I was on camera and having my little dance party. So it's been like 15 minutes, so it's completely dry. And so if you get mascara all over your face, leave it, okay? Just leave it. Don't touch it. Give it a second. Give it a second to breathe, to dry down. And then after like 10 minutes or so, then you start to work on it, okay? And literally after you've waited, it takes no time. You just need a Q-tip, or I know there's some days I haven't had a Q-tip in my car and I'll like get to work and I'll like rush into the bathroom, you know what I mean? And I'll like grab a little napkin and I'll just kind of flick it. Once it's dry, it just flicks right off. It's fine. So I got it everywhere. So I'm just going to go in with my little Q-tip and I'm going to kind of, oh God, I don't want to say rub it out because that just sounds horrible. All right, and this is basically it. If there's some days where I have extra time, I will, like if I'm in my car and the traffic's really, really bad, I will sit with my fingers and kind of like push my lashes up to make them a little bit more curled without having to second curl them. And that works pretty well, but this is it, y'all. I know it took me forever to film this, but that's because I babble a lot, okay? But literally, if you're not babbling, if you're in your element, you can do this in 10 minutes. And if you don't want to put mascara on your car, which fair, okay, fair, 15, okay? 15 minutes. This is 15 minutes of your day. And for me, at least. Maybe this is like a self-deprecation, self-esteem issue that I have, but it makes me feel more put together. It makes me feel more alive and more myself, and like I can actually get stuff done. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please stick around and subscribe if you want to. Give it a like, a comment, anything like that. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.